That's it for your wrap-up of the week's headlines. Back to you, Derek.
Thanks, Steve. Lake Urmu is one of the largest salt lakes in the world. Located in Iran, between the provinces of East Azerbaijan and West Azerbaijan, it is a breeding ground for flamingos and one of the largest habitats of saltwater shrimp. Lake Urmu is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve and a wetland of international importance under the Ramsar Convention of Wetlands. It plays a crucial role in the economic, ecological, and social health of the region. Currently, the lake is in danger of drying up. More than just an environmental problem, the deterioration of the lake could impact the 13 million inhabitants of the region. Terra Informa correspondent Catherine Lennon talks to some members of the Azerbaijani communities in Edmonton and Vancouver to hear their concerns.
My name is Saleh Yildirim. I'm actually a spokesperson for South Azerbaijan Independent Party. Lake Urmu is drying. 60% of the lake is already gone. We have maximum 2 years to support or to save it.
Lake Urmu is an ancient salt lake. The lake covers an area of about 5,000 square kilometers. That makes it the largest lake in the Middle East and one of the largest salt lakes in the world.
My name's Mike Camp. I've visited Iran a few times and I've been to the lake in question, and it was a beautiful lake. Such high salt content that you just float when you go in the lake, and it's very sharp on the bottom because of the salt crystals. But it's a great habitat for birds migrating through the region. Used to have flamingos and pelicans, and now it's just drying up. There's also a shrimp found in the lake, native to the lake, that's very rare, and it's used in eye surgery.
The lake is home to more than 211 species of birds, such as flamingos, pelicans, spoonbills, and gulls, over 41 species of reptiles, 7 species of amphibians, and 27 species of mammals, such as the yellow deer. It is one of the largest natural habitats in the world of a unique genus of brine shrimp called Artemia. These shrimp are able to live in environments with high salinity. Over the last decade, the salinity of the lake has increased from 140 grams of salt per liter of water to 330 grams. The increased salinity could make it difficult for inhabitants of the area to have access to drinking water.
Now my relatives actually don't have drinking water. Now these days they should go someplace away to bring water for cooking food, for even tea. They cannot use the water from that area.
Possible causes of the rising salinity are likely to be surface flow diversions, groundwater extractions, and climate change. Saline lakes are highly sensitive to environmental changes. In the last few decades, the salinity of many large and permanent salt lakes has risen due to human activities, and several of them have dried up completely. These include Owens Lake in California and Winnemucca Lake in Nevada. In almost all cases, the reason for the change in salinity is man-made. Often it is the diversion of inflowing rivers to meet agricultural and other human needs. In recent years, the Iranian government has built dams on more than 20 tributaries which feed into the lake, which has reduced the depth of the shallow lake by 7 meters. Many cite these damming projects as the cause for the deterioration of the lake.
In the last 10 years, they have built 40 dams, and now there are, I believe, 15 dams under construction and 20 dams under study to be constructed.
All the experts, including Iranian geology department, Iranian government geology department, that they believe that the dams are the main reason. What they say is that there had been a direct relationship between the rainfall and the water level of the lake from thousands straight years ago until the year 2000. After that, although the rainfall was normal, the water level goes down and down, and the dams that have been built over the rivers feeding the Lake Urmu are the main reason.
Those I spoke to raised concerns about the human rights of those living around the lake.
But it seems to be a question of possible persecution because the region is Azerbaijani people mostly, and the water is being diverted from the rivers that feed the lake to serve the Persian farmers to develop their land. So it could be more a question of repression than anything.
To learn more about the human rights side of things, I spoke with Alireza Guluncu. He was born in a village near Lake Urmia and is the communications director for the Association for the Defense of Azerbaijani Political Prisoners in Iran, based in Vancouver, and is the founder of the Save Lake Urmia campaign.
The issue of Lake Urmia also is happening in Azerbaijani region. So, and Azerbaijanis actually are a minority in Iran, and they have been subjected to racism and discrimination for decades. Their mother tongue, Turkish language, is banned in education and official usage. There have been peaceful protests against Iranian government policies over Lake Urmia for more than almost 3 years. And then in August 2011, when a motion that was recommended by deputies from the city of Urmia to invest funds for the lake, when that motion rejected by Iranian parliament, mass demonstrations took place all over Iranian Azerbaijan or South Azerbaijani cities. And they had demonstrations every Saturday in August and September, and unfortunately the police response was extremely violent and brutal. Thousands were arrested, scores injured, and some were killed reportedly.
I spoke with Farid, who is a PhD student at the University of Alberta. He was part of a demonstration organized in Edmonton in November of 2011 by the Azerbaijani Cultural Student Association and the Edmonton Azerbaijani community.
So we thought we do our share and our part to raise the awareness of the local and international. So we decided to gather here to demonstrate what we want and what we asked the government of Canada, government of Alberta, and United Nations to take, to their own responsibilities and take actions to urge Iranian government to do something to save Lake Urmia.
And what will happen if Lake Urmia dries up?
The salt will get airborne and it will affect people's health, and people will have to move from the region.
Experts say that as a result there will be a storm of salt which will be spread over the towns and villages around the lake, as well as orchards and farmlands, and eventually 4 to 14 million people will have to be displaced to avoid the storm of salt within the region. Actually, even now, many farms and orchards in many towns and villages were destroyed. Many of them are already suffering from the lack of drinking water. Many people living around the Lake Urmia. For example, in Anzel district in Urmia, they don't have drinking water. According to Professor Ismail Kahram, a professor of environmental sciences of the University of Tehran, if Lake Urmia dries up, it has been estimated that 6 to 8 cities will be totally destroyed, covered by layers and layers of salt.
I heard from the Urmi people, they say, well, when the morning we open the car or we clean the car, we see the little dust of the salt on that. So when they inhale and all till they feel the pain.
This will be an environmental catastrophe, not only in Azerbaijani cities of Iran, but also in neighboring countries, such as Republic of Azerbaijan, Turkey, Armenia, and Iraq. So a disaster in Middle East, East Anatolia, and Caucasus.
I also asked Alireza about solutions that are being proposed and what demands his organization is making.
We believe that the international community and organizations such as the United Nations and the UNEP need to stand with the local people to help protect their basic human rights of free speech, assembly, and peaceful protests, along with their right of access to water, a fundamental resource for survival, actually. the most importantly, Iranian government should be forced to open the dams and let the water flow into the lake. The other solutions like transferring water from like Aras River or Caspian Sea or some other rivers in other regions, those are long-term solutions. And we as ADAP, Association for the Defense of Azerbaijani Political Prisoners, and also a campaign to save Lake Urmu, hope that neighboring countries, especially those that impacted by these environmental catastrophes such as Turkey and Republic of Azerbaijan, will also join in the call for action and find ways to work towards a solution for this catastrophe.
Especially for the people around the lake, is the matter of the life. And the most things they're asking, the slogans they're giving, open the dams and fill the lake or feed the lake. This is the most thing they ask because they know what is the matter. Directly connected to their life, to everybody's future in the area.
Lake Urmu is tied to the identity and culture of its people. The song you heard clips from is by Parisa Arsalani. It's called Flamingo and is dedicated to Lake Urmu. It was released in 2011.
Thank you, Kat.